Task Force Orange. LTD. Well, Task Force Orange reporting to you today. 800-point battle I had with a guy named Simon at our local club. 800 points, and so we had a couple of conversations around how we would do that, and we talked about what kind of squadrons would be, and Simon suggested, let's just say no squadrons. Here's a good plan. We're playing on a Tuesday to be resolved in a little bit of time, so with no squadrons. So, with no squadrons, that makes it very simple to choose which rebel commander to take. So I took Admiral Ackbar. I think he's the best admiral, particularly as the game scales up. And just his effect, and yes, as the game gets bigger and bigger, I find it harder and harder not to take Admiral Ackbar. So our fleets, if you can sort of see my fleet there, I go lots of medium and small ships, so 5 TRC corvettes, 4 assault frigate Bs with enhanced armaments, 1 Pelter, which was the flagship, which had an intensified firepower, and 1 Home 1, because again, Home 1's effect multiplies fantastically as the game gets into bigger points. And the opposition, Simon took 3 ISD-2s with gunnery teams fully kitted out, an Onager of some kind, an interdictor with targeting beacons, targeting scramblers, and 2 Gazantes with various things. So I had a heavy activation bonus. He did have a strategic advisor. We deployed. He chose my minefields objective, which is good because minefields allows you to place, as the defender, to place the obstacles. So I spread the obstacles out nice and widely and put all the mines around the center station there in the middle. It's good for Ackbar because you can choose your clear line of sight, so there's no terrain to hide behind, and forces the enemy to either come through that minefield or chase you the long way around. So this is our deployment. Ackbar is on this Pelter here in the corner. As last deployment, he'll be running away. The Onager had to go here. It didn't fit on this end of the line, so he was going to face my light strips, and that's fine. He had Price on the Onager. It's just a nice cinematic view of the fleet deploying for battle. Lovely, beautiful shot. 800 points, great size. We got through the whole game in about 2.5 hours, so it was really good. No squadrons, made it really work. So this is the beginning of turn 2. Everybody sort of shuffled along and moved. There's the assault frigate here in the corner is at speed 0 because it had deployed in one of those gravity rift things set by the interdictor. And so it started at speed 0, sorry, but it allowed me to form up my 9 nice and neatly. You can sort of see that Simon has decided that he's going to have to go through that minefield with something. So here he comes. I'm disappointed with how I deployed Home 1. Should have put that through a bit better. But that's life. My corvettes are all out here ready to engage this guy. He's chosen Price for turn 2. So I think I managed to get 2 of my corvettes in the range to shoot at him before he could activate. But everyone else managed to get. So just a bit of a shot of the corvettes lining up to shoot at him. And so the left of my battle line, the right of my battle line. Yeah, he's flying Palpatine as his commander. He's got all different titles on his Star Destroyers. He's got that full kit. Opening shot of the game. That's my starting to rip into his Onager there. My corvettes went probably a bit too wide in reflection. He decided to fly a Gazanti into the minefield to help clear some of his minefields. I think he took out 3 of those mines. Yeah, just blow by blow at this point. I just love this shot. I think those assault frigates are just beautiful with those Star Destroyers in the background. Yep. A beautiful shot. Yeah. Just keep on rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, and his Star Destroyers need to speed up and come at me and come forward and run into my gun line. In retrospect, I probably took 1 too many teams and ECMs on all of my assault frigates. Otherwise, they just had enhanced armaments. Gunnery teams would have been very helpful, and ECMs would have been particularly helpful, because otherwise they can be wiped out too easily by enemies rolling accuracies, which when you're facing ISD-2s is pretty much going to happen. So I think that's everybody moving before the end of before this thing gets to move, the Onager. It has to shoot with its particle cannon. I think it has to shoot this corvette here, which for some reason ended up in black range of that thing and getting smashed and damage getting passed around and all sorts of things. So here's the last activation of turn 2. Here we are on turn 3. Palpatine hasn't done anything yet. And the Onager will go first again. So this one survived all of that. Now he's lining up to shoot one of these assault frigates. It needs sort of to go first, otherwise it's going to be chopped to bits by all these corvettes which are in its flank. So beginning of turn 3, he must have chosen evade as his thing. Palpatine chooses evade's effect. Got the evade on this guy. He survived the shot. And we're going to shoot him to bits with all my various things. Most of him's out of range. Had trouble killing this thing because he had ECMs, things to chew on, things like that. My frigates are corvettes are sort of out of the white position behind the thing, but we've managed to chop it a bit. Yep, in the game, so that's the Onager, and my corvette swinging a couple of mines on its way through. I think I end up taking the final mine, one of my assault frigates. End up ramming myself here with home 1. That's what happens. And yeah, then we're fully engaged, and it's off to the races. This is the beginning of turn 4. Yeah, his thing, he's fully in my arcs and my sides. Some of my corvettes are too far away to be engaged, but corvettes just can't survive against ISD2s with gunnery teams, even at any sort of range, really. Yeah, just get chopped to bits. So, another beautiful shot, showing the lineup. So turn 4, he Palpatined brace. So I think I burnt brace on pretty much every one of my ships this turn. But as these ISDs, this ISD activated first and came shooting around here into the front, so I'm going to chop him to bits with everything. And I think I managed to do that. Yes, so this is the beginning of turn 5. So one of my assault frigates has been blown up. I've destroyed one of his ISDs 2s. I think I've lost a corvette. I might have lost 2 corvettes in that exchange. Turn 5. Yep. And he's chosen the redirects on turn 5. He goes first and kills one of my frigates and heavily damages the other. And yes, he just keeps on rolling into my gun lines, and I just keep on shooting at him. You can see here my piece of paper. I didn't do order dials because it's too hard, I think, to keep track of order dials and things. So I just had to print out and wrote out the orders for each ship each turn and kept track of how many damage they'd taken and stuff there. So I like pieces of paper and pens. Yeah, but this Star Destroyer here is in range of this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and the whole lot. So he's the one I target. Turn 6, he decides to get real contained because there's nothing else to do. And I can't remember what he did first. I think he must have activated this one and tried to kill him. I think he did kill this guy and swing around behind and try to damage him, which allowed me to shoot with this corvette into him and then move. But in moving, I blocked the line of sight to this corvette behind. And I thought, that's the game right there. I can't kill that Star Destroyer with just these guys. But then he obliged and shot the corvette that got in the way and blew it away, which allowed me to, that corvette, broke a stand to shoot, this guy to shoot, this guy to shoot, knocked out that last Star Destroyer. And basically that's the game. That's the end of turn 6. I might have taken a fair bit of damage, but isn't dead by any means. This frigate's taken some damage. Targeting scramblers on this interdictor did help a couple of times, and Ackbar's ship hasn't seen any action at all. He's just been doing intensify firepower return. The battle had gone another 2 turns or something. Would have been maybe a slightly different result. I might have been wiped out, but turn 6 is fine. We didn't actually do the maths, but Simon says at the end there, when I killed that ISD, he goes, well, that changed it, that you've won the game now. And yeah, he's probably right, because I've got 300 points left, and he doesn't have quite that much. So it was a really good game. As I say, I finished in about 2 hours. And yeah, great game. So if you ever have a chance to play 800 points with no admirals, I strongly recommend it. Thank you for watching Task Force Orange. Like and subscribe, etc.